What is going on, DC Fitness Squad? Hope you're all doing well and amazing today. Happy Thursday, and really excited about today's live training. It's going to be a good one. How to lose weight while traveling. That's what the podcast is going to be on today, and it's going to help a lot of people out. And I feel like this is definitely relevant because people are traveling for summer. There's a lot of my clients that are traveling and going places, whether it's just for a weekend, 1 week, or a couple weeks, doesn't really matter. But I want to make sure you're staying on track while you're traveling. All right, so I'm going to get into it. If you're watching right now, I really appreciate you. If you're watching on the replay, just hashtag replay. Eventually, we're going to do some challenges in terms of live trainings. I want to incentivize people to actually come in and get value and make sure you're learning. So eventually we're going to do some challenges, especially on the podcast as well. But I'm seeing some names. Thank you so much for tuning in. It means a lot. Stay for the end and stay for the podcast because it's going to get really good. All right, how to lose weight while traveling. I'm going to get into it. I hope you get value. I hope this helps you. And let's talk about it. All right, let me start this podcast up and we'll get into it. All right. So, okay. There we go. Countdown is always legit. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Men's Fat Loss Made Easy podcast, where I'm here to give you massive value that you could implement on your fat loss journey. Today, we're going to be talking about how to travel and stay on track with your fat loss goals, because maybe this has been you before, right? You got motivated to lose weight and you felt pretty consistent in the beginning of your journey and you started doing really well. You lost some pounds, you lost some lbs, and you actually had more energy. But then you got busy, right? You started to travel, you went on vacations, you were traveling for work, for business, you were always on the go, family obligations, and you just fell off track, all right? You fell off track and you just couldn't keep up. There was no sustainability involved in your process, and the weight you lost is back on, and now your clothes are getting tighter. So let's figure this out together as a team. I want you to follow these 3 keys that I'm about to explain below, all right? I'm about to talk about to learn how to travel while staying on track with your fat loss goals. I'm going to go into them, so make sure these are really hitting for you. You're taking notes, you're paying attention. All right, number 1, how you can really stay on track with your fat loss goals while traveling is sticking to higher protein meals. That's literally it. That's the first thing right there. Sticking to higher protein meals, and here's why. High protein meals will provide you the nutrients to remain healthy and actually maintain the lean muscle that you have on your body already, while keeping you full instead, keeping your body full instead of you craving sugary desserts. Because I'm sure there's been a point where you had Doritos or mac and cheese or whatever it was, just empty calories, and you're actually even more hungrier after you consume those foods, right? So sticking to high protein meals, it's very important. Also, this is a fun fact. It takes our body more energy to digest protein compared to carbs and fats, right? It takes our body more energy, more calories. Energy is just calories. It takes our body more calories to digest protein compared to carbs and fats. So if I had some mac and cheese, let's say my body burns 25 calories just digesting mac and cheese, compared to a chicken dinner. Maybe I'm going to burn 50 calories just digesting that. So we actually burn more calories digesting protein compared to carbs and fats. Does that make sense? If you're watching this live right now, just give me a thumbs up in the comments if this makes sense. Or if you're watching the replay, just let me know. If you're listening to the podcast, just give me a thumbs up and I will pretend I saw you. All right. But I want to make sure that makes sense. If you're traveling, you're going to find high protein meals everywhere you go. Even at McDonald's, you could find high protein meals, right? So that's something that will definitely help you. That's the first method you could really utilize to make sure that you're staying on track with your fat loss goals while you're traveling this summer or whenever, right? For the rest of your year, the rest of the year. This has to do with 365 days a year. That's the first thing. The second thing, gentlemen, is realize that there will always be healthier alternatives wherever you go. It's about the decisions that you make. Realize there will always be healthy alternatives wherever you go. It's about the decisions that you're making. Wherever you're traveling, they will inevitably have healthy options for you. They will have it, all right? Like 99.9% of places, all right? If you are really looking to lose weight, tone up, have more energy, and stay consistent, then you're probably going to pick the healthier option, right? I personally always look at the future, right? If I have those bag of chips, how am I going to feel in 1 hour? Not just my body, but about myself. Like, probably not that accomplished. My body's not going to give me energy because those chips are just empty calories. But if I have a whole food meal, or if I have a healthier snack option, not only am I going to feel better about myself, my body's going to reward me as well. I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to have more clarity, more confidence. So I hope that makes sense. And I'm getting some thumbs up in the comments on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm glad that's making sense. So if that second thing right there, I'm seeing from Kevin, and I'm not sure who I'm not sure who the other username is, but I'm glad this is making sense. All right, if this made sense, the second thing right there, realizing that you're always going to have healthier alternatives. It's about the decisions you make. If that makes sense, just drop another thumbs up in the comments if you can. That's going to be an important one. Jason, what is going on? Thank you. I appreciate it. Jason, awesome. Kevin is dropping a thumbs up. Awesome. Drop a thumbs up if this is all making sense so far. All right. And the last thing that you can do to really focus on your fat loss goals while traveling is getting in more steps. Like, it sounds easy, it sounds simple, and it really is when you're traveling, but sometimes we forget about it, right? If you're traveling for work, if you're traveling for leisure, on vacation, whatever, just try to increase your step count to burn more calories to really get to that stubborn body fat. Because if you're stepping more, you're going to burn more calories, and that inevitably is going to get you in a calorie deficit, which we talked about yesterday. 3 tips to lose the love handles. Go listen to that podcast. But getting in more steps, all right? So that's definitely going to help you, especially if you're on vacation. And if you implement these tactics, not only are you going to stay on track with your fat loss goals while you're traveling, you're going to be able to see and feel those results as well, all right? So Willie Wet, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. So I hope that made sense. Let's quickly recap. All right, so if you're really trying to stay on track while traveling, this could be the summer, fall, winter, spring, doesn't really matter. Whenever you're traveling, make sure you try to really focus on these 3 things right here to make sure you're actually on track. All right, one, sticking to higher protein meals. Fairly simple, and it just comes down to a choice, picking that higher protein meal, because knowing the why is always going to help you, but because it's going to give you the nutrients you need to really maintain your muscle mass. It's going to keep you full instead of having empty calories, and then you're just going to be craving sugar and salty snacks, right? And it takes our body more energy, more calories to digest protein compared to carbs and fats. It's a win-win-win having high protein meals. That's why when you see a lot of fit individuals like protein shakes, protein bars, like, it kind of is stereotypical, but there's a reason why they're doing it, right? It's to really keep that lean muscle on and keep that fat off. So I hope that makes sense, sticking to higher protein meals. The second thing is realizing there will always be healthier alternatives. It's just about the decisions you make. There's always going to be healthier alternatives. If you want to stay on track, lose weight, tone up, it just comes down to the decisions you make. And for me, it's like I'm always thinking about the future. I'm a visionary. I'm always thinking about the future. If I have these meals, if I have X, Y, and Z meals, how am I going to feel, when I'm sitting by the pool or at the beach? And am I going to feel sluggish? Or even if I'm at a work conference, if you're traveling for work, are you going to feel sluggish giving your presentation? Are you going to feel sluggish, not motivated when you're meeting these new colleagues or coworkers, or you're talking about certain things that are important for your career, right? Or do you want to feel good? I know for me, like, I'm actually going to Florida this weekend. I know for me, like, I love like eating healthier. I balance myself. I'll have some drinks or whatever. I'll have desserts and stuff on vacation, but like, I really enjoy staying healthy, and I always work out on vacation because, like, staying healthy, it's not a chore. It shouldn't be a chore for you. It's like I'm doing what I love while staying fit, while having more energy, while being in a new environment, like, and I'm traveling. It feels good. If you kind of just like completely go off the rails, you fall off track when you're traveling, you're not going to feel good about yourself throughout the vacation and when you go home. I promise, because that skill is going to go up, and you're going to have lower energy levels while you're traveling, whether it's for, a vacation with your friends, family, or you're just traveling for work. Just make that healthier decision. All right. So that's number 2. And then 3 is getting in more steps. And think about it. the airport. All right, if you are just like a tourist and you're walking around, right, you want to be sightseeing, all that stuff, you're going to be getting in steps. Even if you are just traveling for work, going from meeting to meeting, walking around on the streets, just kind of be more diligent about your step count. And if you really focus on all of that, gentlemen, you will 100% lose weight, tone up, stay on track with your fat loss goals while traveling wherever you want to. All right. So if you're watching live right now, whether it's live or on the replay, just say makes sense in the comments. Just say makes sense. All right. I really do appreciate everybody tuning in. And if you're listening to the podcast and you're like, yep, this was valuable, maybe you can write a review. You could send me a message. I could send you I could send you some free resources, or you can leave me a 5 stars. It would honestly mean the world. But that's all I got. I hope this was good. I hope I changed one life today. That's literally it. And I appreciate you. Go implement, and it will make your life a lot easier, especially your fat loss journey. All right. Peace, love, protein. It's your coach, Danny C. Coming at you live. Peace. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this helped a lot of individuals out, because just listen, because I'm always listening, right? Especially with my clients, they're traveling and they're like, how can I really stay on track? And I give them all the resources they need. But I just wanted to point out the fundamentals, like out of all the things that I tell my clients and what I provide for them in their workouts, in their nutrition accountability, I took like the 3 most important rules. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be up there in terms of like mindset, but these are very tactical. Like high protein meals, just making the right decision and getting in more steps are 3 practical ways you could actually be able to not only stay on track with your fat loss, weight loss goals on vacation, but get progress. I know for me, there have been times I went on vacation, I come home and I see results. Like I have more definition in my torso, my arms, and maybe it's the sun, because I usually like Florida, I like going to sometimes, and the tan helps. But it really is getting more steps in, still staying true to high protein meals and healthier alternatives. That's really what it comes down to. All right. So I hope that made sense. Jason says, makes sense. Thanks for taking the time. Of course, Jason, thank you for taking the time to listen to all this, getting value. I'm always here. All right. 5 days a week, we podcast. Jason, maybe send me a message. I could send you a free ebook or something that will help you on your journey. And I really appreciate you, man. All right. So everybody else watching, thank you so much. I hope this was good and insightful, and hope you have the best day of your life. All right. Talk to you soon. See ya.